for the Canberra Gunners in as... Oh, Fang with the reverse jab. Puts up the half. Oh, my goodness. It was the ball. Goodness. Right at the wide. From three. Puts it up. And Mason to tail it down. And Birmingham here it up high. Fans on their feet. Tail it down. Grayson. Whoa. Oh, my.
A strong, smooth, creamy latte.
Be your own barista at Coles Express. Award-winning Coles Urban Coffee Culture from just $1. Express yourself at Coles Express.
Suffer from muscle or mild joint pain? Try Kanzia Pain Relief Cream from Zia, an anti-inflammatory cream providing temporary pain relief using natural active ingredients. Experience the Zia difference at zia.com.au.
Sixt Car and Truck Rental has arrived in Australia. With small cars, big cars, utes, vans, cars as big as trucks. Because they are trucks. Welcome to Above and Beyonding.
Ballarat Basketball and NBL 1 wish to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land on which this match will be played, the Wadawurrung people. We pay our respects to their elders, past, present and emerging. Welcome back to the Brick House, Selkirk Stadium in Ballarat for the second half of our NBL 1 South doubleheader between the Dandenong Rangers and the Ballarat Miners. My name is Jared Prosser and alongside me is Paul Rogers. Paul, we saw a blowout in the first half of our doubleheader. The Dandenong Rangers winning by the lazy 45 points. This match should be a lot closer.
Yeah,
we would hope it would be a lot closer.
Well, I think we hope, and I also think that
I think everyone
a couple of thousand Ballarat Miners fans who have turned out to support their team are definitely hoping for something a little bit more enthralling than the blowout that we saw earlier tonight.
So in this match, Paul, we've got a 4-2 Miners side against a 2-4 Rangers side. That 2-4 record probably doesn't reflect the quality in this Rangers side. But these are two sides that physically are kind of not quite the same. There's a lot of size, a lot of big 6'8", 6'9", 6'10" players along this Dandenong roster. They're quite similar in playing styles. Both sides love to get the three ball up.
Yeah, look, it's as we know in today's modern basketball, that three ball is a super important component, and if you can manage to hit them, then it's definitely going to go a long way to making sure that you're holding your own on the scoreboard. So just having a bit of a look around here during shoot around and warm up, there's definitely some athleticism there on the Dandenong side, and I'm looking forward to some pretty explosive action from the guys coming into town here tonight.
So Dandenong will kick it off with Jack Roberts and Jesse G in the backcourt. We'll start with Dean Potch alongside that. Frankly, it's a huge front court. Dean Potch, Jesse Iman and Mike Amos. But that's some big dudes. We're looking at Tyler Randolph, number 22 for Ballarat there as he walks past them. And he's going to be Ballarat centre. He's shorter than all three. Dandenong front line.
There definitely is a size advantage there going Dandenong's way, but like I said, after some pretty convincing wins down in Tasmania, especially a 41-point game for Davidson for Ballarat.
36 against Hobart for Rudolph. We'll go with what's been their regular starting lineup with Max Lloyd into Jack Davidson, Adam Thosby, Jake Lloyd, Tyler Randolph and the skipper Nick Kazoglu. And it will be Dandenong to get us underway through G. Here's Roberts. He loves to look for his own shot. Doesn't have a lot of a conscience, that man. Solid move from Eamon's no good, and Lloyd the other way for Ballarat. Gee, right up on Davidson. Clearly read the scouting report. This will be a good matchup here, Potch on Lloyd. as Rudolph misses. No, good pass. Kazoglu picks it up the steal. That's the first steal of the night for Kazoglu. Oh, Lloyd spent it before he had it. Rudolph Thosby gets to the hole. The teardrop's no good. Kazoglu climbs to the tipping. First score on the board for Ballarat. And I think Jake Lloyd, a good solid defender, how he handles the taller and frankly more athletic Dan Koch will go a long way to how Ballarat are able to control this explosive Dandenong offence. There's G. There's Koch. It's really good work swinging the ball for Dandenong. Dan Koch, the wide open wing three to get things going for the Rangers. 3-2 they lead. A minute and a half played. Zoglu's looking to feed Davidson. Robertson did well to deny for a moment there. Davidson gets to the end of the key. Can't hit the little floater.
Davidson definitely early in these early stages of the game is drawing all of the attention of the Dandenong defenders.
Yeah, and look, I don't blame the Rangers defenders for getting on him. He had 41 last time out against... Yeah, Lloyd hit that. That'll count. Yeah, Davidson 41 against Launceston last time out. We had a huge fourth quarter comeback for Ballarat. Trailing by 10 at three-quarter time. They won by 12. Davidson goes left and just about gets it home. Good switch to the hands there from Davidson to avoid defensive Koch. Newman down low on Randolph. Zoglu, good hands. Helped out Tyler Rudolph there. That's what you see from Nick Bazoglu. He's a defensive menace. Can guard anyone from 6 foot to 7 foot. Explosive leap, a big barrel-chested man. He lines up the corner three, shoots it about 2 feet too long, and it comes off Lloyd's shoulder. So 10 on the shot clock. Dandenong inbound. Dean turns the corner. It's a dead-end street though. Good defense. G gets past it. And Rudolph, quick hands.
Should be Dandenong.
It should be, yeah. Yeah. Flicked off Rudolph. I think the official thought it flicked off Jacob Amon. So the shot clock at 1. Roberts has to launch, can't hit it. Bazoglu will go the other way for Ballarat. It's good defense to be quite frank from Mike Amos. Bazoglu finishes through it. 6-5 Miners lead, 3 minutes played. Good help defense from Lloyd. Some Rangers G to get their kick out. Rudolph thought he had the block there, late whistle, but probably the correct call there.
Alright, Ballarat, this is our chance for cheeseburgers. Let's make some noise.
You saw the referee who made that call. That's an official, Jason Kelly. Getting into the Dandenong assistant coach there, just saying, hey, cool your jets, please.
Now we want cheeseburgers.
No problem with the first for Roberts.
We're going to be louder than that, Ballarat.
Lloyd cleans up the second, scores tied at 6. And that's a pretty cheap turnover, to be frank. Not much we can say about that one.
Straight to a Miners man, but the wrong Miner man.
Yep. Koch had the open three, fumbled it. Oh, well done, Roberts. Well done. Off Davidson's foot. Really good work from Jack Roberts there. Stayed with the play. Brings the ball back for his team. 14 on the shot clock for Dandenong. Amos rises up in the mid-range. Gorgeous jumper. First 2 points from Mike Amos.
That last turnover, you just can't afford to be complacent with the ball, even on an inbound.
No, that's it.
Or an offensive rebound. A defensive, rebound.
Shot clock at 6 for Ballarat. Davidson looks to split the double team. Eventually does so. Rudolph has to shoot as the shot clock expires. It's short. Jake Lloyd cleans up. Finds Rudolph inside. Good fake. Oh, there's a clean hand in there somewhere. I'm not sure whether it came from Eamon or Amos, but either way, good defense. Good recovery defense from Dandenong.
Yeah, it was a great fake by Rudolph, but unfortunately, great defense by Dandenong.
Amos in and out with the 3. And Rudolph cleans up. Zoglu hard to the hole, wanted the call, wasn't there. It was pretty good defense in all honesty. Jimmy the other way. Roberts. Almost slingshot-esque release of his. Drops the 3. 5-point lead early to Dandenong. 11-6, almost halfway through the first. Davidson lays it up and in, gets the foul.
Again, beautiful use of his body there to protect that ball.
And the good switch of hands, it's went with the leading hand, makes it harder to block. It's good technique.
Yeah, saw that earlier in the game, and again replicates that for a good basket and the bonus.
Very good weekend on the Tassie road trip for Ballarat. Did Jack Davidson, as we mentioned, 41 points. He misses the free throw there. 41 points against Launceston and against Hobart in a game where, frankly, his formidable jump shot just would not go. Turned himself into an old-fashioned point guard. 12 assists, 6 boards. He adjusted his game beautifully. An offensive foul there. That'll be called on Jesse G. James Spencer, number 3 into the game for Dandenong. Dual passport, Australian-Filipino. Finds Rudolph down low. That's a really good dig down low. Really good dig, and Roberts is going to get rewarded here. Dumps it off the ding. Lloyd fouls him, but not sure he liked the call, Jake Lloyd, but it looks a pretty clear foul, and quite frankly, a good foul for Ballarat.
Yeah,
they send him to the line and give up a layup.
The moment that ball was turned over, Dandenong basically had a clear path to the basket, and I almost think there an unnecessary pass resulted in what would have been an easy 2 points.
Yeah, I honestly think Roberts could have just laid that ball in. It's a good athlete, Jake Lloyd, but that's out. He was going to get to that one. So no good on the first from Koch. Drops the second as this Ballarat crowd loses the chance of a Macca's cheeseburger. Here's Davidson. Oh, Rudolph wide open. Mid-range J is long. Spencer with the board. 4-point lead to Dandenong. Good defense from Davidson, hands from Kazoglu. Spencer tried to find Mike Amos. Here's Roberts. Stays with it, keeps his dribble alive. Shot clock down to 8. Amos too strong down there for Thosby. He was just a bit too deep under the basket. Dandenong, an early advantage, 14-8. 3:44 to play in the first quarter. Thosby can pull up, goes to the hole instead. Can't hit it over Eamon's outstretched hand. The big man got up well to intimidate. Dunmore does well on Roberts at the other end. Pozoglu flies down the court. Finishes well over Eamon. That's a big man, Mike Eamon.
Yeah, good defensive position there.
Jacob Eamon, I should say, 6'9" of him.
Pozoglu able to get around the outside to lay that ball in with the right hand.
Davidson 6'1", skies well for the rebound. He's got some jets. Finds Dunmore. Looks to drive. Kick to Rudolph to Davidson. And the 3 balls down. A big couple of baskets for Ballarat. Cuts the lead to 1, 13-14. Dandenong still in the ascendancy. Under 3 minutes to play in the first. Oh, really pretty floated. It's too strong. And Spencer gets his own board. Gets the shooter's roll. 3-point lead. 2:37 to play. First basket for James Spencer on the evening. It's Davidson. Rudolph for Davidson again. Rudolph is a good shooter. That one's long. He's a flat shooter, Tyler Rudolph. When he's not quite on, he tends to shoot long. Jacob Eamon stayed with it, was patient. Got the baby hook.
Back there, Davidson had drawn the attention of both of the defenders, and he was out there for that wide open shot. Unfortunately, couldn't make it.
Davidson, catch, shoot. That's a lovely shot. That was really good defense, quite frankly, from James Spencer. Sometimes you just got to tip your cap and say that was a better shot.
When somebody can catch the ball and release it with that accuracy in such a short amount of time, it definitely makes it hard to defend that ball.
Absolutely. Amos, so keep an eye on him. Looks like he maybe tweaked an ankle as he went over around Dunmore and Potch then. Shot clock down to 5. Roberts has lost it a second time. It's on 1. Potch shoots. Oh! Dang, Potch rescues the possession for Dandenong. Huge 3.
What definitely looked like a turnover was about to happen.
Well, we talked about playing good defense, and sometimes you tip your cap before. Davidson gets hit, hits the short jumper, but a little bit of a hop and a skip there. I thought it was a celebration, but maybe he's feeling his hip just a touch.
Nothing speeds up a quick recovery quite like the referee's whistle for an and one.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that. But Davidson, once the timeout is done, Davidson will step to the line to try and cut the lead to 2. It's currently a 3-point lead, 18-21. The Dandenong Rangers leading the Ballarat Miners. Jack Davidson already on 12 points. Couple of threes, couple of nice little lefty layups driving baseline. And then Quatch, that 3 takes him to 7, leading all scorers for Dandenong. So far we've seen both teams are prepared to get it up. Now to let that deep ball fly, but we also haven't quite seen, outside of a little pivot and baby hook from big Jacob Eamon, we haven't really seen the Rangers try to go down low and punish a much smaller Ballarat lineup.
No, we did see that early, like you said, Eamon getting those balls down in the low post and just sort of trying to back down the defender. We only saw that a couple of times earlier. I did think at the start that might have been something that might have been a little bit more significant in their game plan, but it looks like they're not just going to stick and try to roll with their big man.
And the Rangers have gone a little bit bigger, taking out the 6'9" Eamon and replacing him with young 20-year-old Ellis Big R, all 6'10" of him. He is indeed Big R. Davidson hits the free throw, cuts the lead to 2. Spencer and Dunmore. That'll be a good matchup. 2 athletic young guards. Oh, quick 3 from Harrison. Bowater, he's got a really quick release. Very low release at times too. Pozoglu! Oh, I thought he was going up then. I honestly thought Pozoglu was going to look to throw that down on the big 6'10" Big R. In the end, adjusts, gets hit, and he'll go to the line.
Nice cut there by Pozzoglu with that nice, beautiful bounce pass there from Davidson to find him. And like I said, for a second there, I did think that
I thought
that ball had no option to go through the hoop.
I had a feeling we may have been on the NBL1 highlight reel for a second there, but Pozzoglu adjusted in midair. Hits the first. If he hits the second, we'll have a tied ball game. And of course he didn't. Goes again, and we've got another call. This one on Amos, who... I think it's on Amos. Let's... No, I think that one's been called on... I think that one's been called on Spencer. I didn't see his hand in there, but the way Amos remonstrated, he clearly didn't think it was him, so maybe it was on Spencer, and that's his second. Pozzoglu hits the front end again, ties the ball game at 21. And hit the second. 2 from 4 for that trip for Pozzoglu. Watch, can't hit the pull-up 3. Pozzoglu another rebound. It's 5 already for Nick Pozzoglu.
Coming off a 12 rebound game last week, or earlier this week, I apologise, down in Tasmania.
Pozzoglu finds Dunmore. Good ball movement from Ballarat. Zach Dunmore hits the corner 3. Puts Ballarat up by those 3 points. Really nice ball movement there from Ballarat. Swung the ball one side or the other with some cuts and drives. Spencer. Oh, that's a tough shot. That's a tough shot. Buzzer beating 3 from James Spencer. Answers Dunmore's corner with a triple of his own. And ties the ball game at 21 after 1 quarter of play. So, Paul, it's actually been a really exciting game so far.
Yeah, it has. Dandenong jumped out to a small lead there, but obviously Ballarat steadied the ship and managed to get back in it pretty quick. So I think the key for me has just been looking at Ballarat's ball movement. I think that swinging, finding that open man, opening that little bit in the paint to find the cutting net person as well has been their big key. Dandenong doing a great job there on defence, but I think that it's going to be very interesting to see how the rest of the game plays out the next quarter here, and what are you expecting to see in terms of any changes or adjustments?
Well, when you got a tied ball game, I don't think you make too many adjustments. I would expect, given Jack Davidson's got 13 points, that there may be a renewed focus on trying to deny Ballarat's number 9 the ball. But the interesting thing so far is that, you know, we mentioned both of these teams really do love to shoot the 3. Ballarat has only put up 5. They've made 3 of them, admittedly, but they've only put up 5. Dandenong, on the other hand, 10 of their 19 attempts have been from deep, despite having a pronounced size advantage on the inside. So whether that's going to continue, which statistically it's probably not going to be that prevalent, the 3-point shot, but I'd be interested to see whether Dandenong are using, perhaps overusing the 3 to this point, just to try and draw Ballarat out, just so that they can start to exploit that size advantage inside.
You would say we may see a little bit more attention towards Davidson, but I do find it hard to stop a guy of his calibre. He manages to find his shot and make his shot.
Well, especially with Max Cody out with a hamstring, Ballarat starting point guard, Davidson is running points a lot more. So it is, he's getting the ball in his hands at the start of possessions. He's also a very, very good off-ball mover. Oh, Brooks moving screen wasn't called. Davidson short. Amos eventually tidies up. Pozzoglu stays with it. Amos does well to keep the ball. Pozzoglu still digging it in him. And Amos Brooks, quick hands, deflects it, comes off Pigar's fingertips. And the ball will go to Ballarat. Here's Thosby. I don't think he's... he has put up 1 shot so far, Adam Thosby. But Dunmore, great hands, Amos. Pozzoglu, it's a late call. That's probably the correct call.
And a good foul.
Yeah, ultimately it's stopped the layup. Amos is going to stroll into that one.
Maybe this is the time for burgers.
So big.
Let's make
Amos. Played in Spain last season for Albacete. home the first.
No burgers this time around, but we can go louder.
Carolina drops both. And those 2 points are the lead. 26-24. Dandenong up over Ballarat. Less than a minute played in the second quarter. One more now, looking to find Davidson. It's just enough space off Spencer. Oh, Zoglu did well to reel that in. Oh, he slipped there. Otherwise he was going up for the layup. And Davidson, a little bit of a business decision, but in the end he's done enough to put Amos off a shot that he probably should have made. There's Bazoglu's speed in the open floor. Dunmore can't hit his second three from that corner. He gets the board but almost loses it again. Watch the crossover on Bazoglu. Can't finish. Does well to get the rebound though. Lovely pass. Amos throws it down. Good dunk by the big fella, but credit to Deng Poch. Both for the offensive board off his own miss and the pass. Bazoglu, good hands from Spencer.
Rudolph and Lloyd coming on for Thursby and Brooks.
Quite a few changes here. Rudolph and Lloyd in for Ballarat. G back in, Roberts back in, Eamon back in for Dandenong. A cheap little call there against Jack Roberts.
Probably an unlucky call, to be honest.
Yeah, it's a needless call, to be honest. I dare say it's a referee just trying to assert a little bit of authority, not let things get out of hand too early, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Davidson, yeah. Oh, that is actually, Davidson wants the call, but that's actually a really good non-call from the officials. Deng Poch stayed straight up there. Oh, good fly by Eamon. Bazoglu does enough. Davidson launches the three. That's well short. Good hands, Rudolph. Great hands, Rudolph. Now, going back to that play before, Davidson got Poch in the air, but then just threw himself into him. Poch was vertical. Good no call by the officials. Deep burns, Dunmore. Oh, misses on the left though. And Davidson another rebound. All right, with 3 on 2, Dunmore eventually gets enough airspace to shoot. Can't connect. And Lawson Eels, who's checked into the game, he gets the defensive board. Here he is on the floor, drives at Lloyd. A little foul underneath there from Lloyd. Yep, that was the call, a push. Thoseby in for Dunmore for Ballarat. That'll be 2 shots. Lawson Eels.
Here we go, Ballarat. Just another chance of 3 cheeseburgers.
Celebrated his 24th birthday yesterday.
A crowd yelling happy birthday, I do believe.
Let's go with that. Makes both. Stretches the lead out to 4. As Lloyd will take a seat for Ballarat, and veteran big Jordan Lingard checking into the game. There he is on the ball, Lingard, the number 24. A handoff straight at Thoseby's knee. Yeah, Lingard knows he's made the error there. Just got a little vintage Pump Up the Jam playing over the PA here at the Brick House. And that early 90s, late 80s.
Something what are your vintage, Joe?
So you're older than me.
I'm just waiting for Chuck Berry.
A lovely spin by Eamon, foul on Rudolph. It's good footwork from big Jacob Eamon. Californian native.
Ballarat, you know what that means.
again.
Cheeseburger time.
Standing onto the line there. Getting there a lot this quarter. They're up to 8 each. This will be 9 and 10. Even no problem with the first.
Shooting a quite reasonable 7 for 9 after that make there.
Can't hit the second. We've been right on with this commentator's curse today, haven't we?
Seems to be doing the trick time and time again.
Rudolph finds Kozoglu. Skies in. He can rattle that foul.
Almost smacking his head on the bottom of the board as he flies by.
Looks like it's called on Jacob Amon. It's a little bit of foul trouble for both sides. We've got G and Spencer on 2 for Dandenong, and Lloyd and Thosby with a pair of fouls apiece for Ballarat. Of those 4, Jake Lloyd the only one not on the floor at the moment, so there is that risk of a third foul inside a half. Well done by Rudolph. Thosby, top of the key, all the time in the world. He would have wanted that again. Rudolph powers to the hoop, doesn't get the call. But again, Amon staying nice and vertical. Here's G, loves to go right. It's good defense from Thosby though. Hug the hand in. Kozoglu. Gorgeous spin. Wow, Nick Kozoglu. What a move.
Beautiful, beautiful spin move.
Shook Spencer. Finished with the spin in the left hand. That's the lead to 2. Here's Amon. Good pass. Great cross-court pass. G can't hit. Eels does really well to corral that board over Davidson and Lingard.
And get the shot off.
Yeah, it was a little bit unfortunate, Ballarat, with the foul. It was incidental contact, but when you get incidental contact around the ankles, you tend to fall. So,
What do you say? Dandenong misses this, we give him 3
so
points as well.
come back in for Spencer. And again, Dandenong getting to the line this quarter. Just building that lead 1 point at a time.
He does want a cheeseburger, Ballarat, but we can still get louder.
Eels can't hit the second on this occasion. 3-point game. 5.5 to play in the first half at Selkirk Stadium. 32-29. Dandenong lead. Get the ball through hands. Looking for Thosby. Finds Kozoglu. Pulls up. It's long. Lingard. Good work. Good work. Thosby catch. Shoot. It's down from the top of the key. Tied ball game. 32 apiece. Thosby gets his first bucket for the evening. Waiting for the horn set to set itself. Kozoglu blows it up. Chase Roberts, good switch, good defense from Rudolph. Made that shot really tough, but another good rebound from Eels in there. Western Eels picked up 3 offensive boards already. Thosby looking for back-to-back threes. It doesn't go. It really wanted to, but in the end it doesn't. Here's Roberts. Now Amon. Good double team. Ball swings really well. Eels is well short on that 3. And that call's going to be on Jordan Lingard. And given it's an off-ball foul, it's going to send. I think it'll be Jacob Amon to the line. Davidson checks out. And young Ned Redfrey
More chances for
in for his first minutes of the season. The 17-year-old point guard. Missed the early part of the season with a concussion, so Very, very talented young man.
And a fan favourite here too, Jared. Always very, very vocal, welcoming from the Ballarat fans when he enters the game.
I had to coach against him at junior level, and suffice to say we had nothing 44 on us in one game. Absolutely tore us to shreds.
We apologise for the noise there in the background, people, but 2 missed free throws results in 3 cheeseburgers for everybody here, hence the excitement.
Yep, courtesy of Wendouree McDonald's. Mosby thought about the 3. And here's Renfrey. Lingard, little one-footed step back. Rudolph takes out the crowd. Amos eventually manages to corral the ball. Finds Poch, he can't hit. Lingard takes command there. Over Renfrey, gets the rebound. Kazoglu, Renfrey, catch, shoot. Knocked out. Kazoglu, man, he can get up. Climbed over G, then good pass from G. And Amos just lays it up over the much smaller Renfrey. 32-34, tight one here at Selkirk Stadium. The Rangers with a narrow lead. Rudolph, oh, great move. Great move, Tyler Rudolph. Mike Amos dancing then. Ties the game at 34. Oh, good hands, Thoseby. Falls to Roberts though. The leaner off the glass is no good. And Thoseby, yeah, he got foul underneath. It's unlucky. That's unlucky on Jesse G, but the call is the right one. The unfortunate thing though for Dandenong is that's his 3rd.
Well, I guess the big thing there is that Thoseby was actually out of step and not in position to really get a reasonable shot off. So and quick thinking there, sensing the contact and making the most of it to put himself to the line.
And that was the unfortunate side of it for G. He almost bounced off a teammate into Thoseby's path then. But nonetheless, the call was a correct one. And when we get back from the timeout, Thoseby will shoot with the chance to give Ballarat their first lead for a long while.
Yep.
Since the opening moments of the game, I think, Davidson, 13-point first quarter, still sees him lead all scorers. Kazoglu's up to 11 for Ballarat. And Mike Amos has just quietly amassed his 10 points. He hasn't, outside of that dunk from the Poch feed, it's sort of been a nondescript 10 points, but he's just accumulated his points.
Kazoglu there also with 7 rebounds as we're 2 minutes and 44 out from half time, but that rebounding definitely is one of the big things in Kazoglu's game, and as we saw there just a couple of plays ago, that he has a somewhat deceiving level of athleticism that he is just,
it's explosive.
He has hops. He is really, really exciting to watch when he's on.
And that's what allows him to get those rebounds, those blocks, those steals. It's that explosive leaping, and he's really, really quick. Like, he covers so much ground. It allows him at 6'5" to play like a 6'8" forward. But with his ball handling, he does essentially run the point from time to time for Ballarat as well. So Thoseby gets the shooter's roll on the first. Drops the second. Those 2 points are the lead for Ballarat. 36-34. 2:40 to play. Dunmore back into the game for Ballarat. Dandenong running cross screens just as they did in the women's game, trying to get a good low post position. Roberts. That's a tough shot. It's good defense from Renfrew. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, great defense and an even better shot.
Yeah. Great hit from Jack Roberts. He's up to 6 points. Kazoglu keeps the dribble alive. Renfrey kicks to Thoseby. Catch, shoot, drops it. That's Adam Thoseby's game. Anyone watching at home who wants to learn how to set your feet for a catch and shoot opportunity, Thoseby is textbook.
And again, that ball movement around the perimeter really contributing to Ballarat's efficiency on the scoreboard.
Yeah, good dish by Kazoglu. Well kicked on by Renfrey. Koch looking for Amos. Can't find him. The ball's fortuitous. Oh, well done, Amos. Can't hit on that occasion. And then Eamon, the big man in the right place at the right time, lays it in for 2. 1 point game. Ballarat lead. A minute and a half to play in the first half. Kazoglu finds Brooks. Gets fouled by every man in his dog there. Again, you could raffle that one. I think it's on Amos. If it wasn't on him, Jacob Eamon came across sensing a big block opportunity and got him on the shoulder as well. But it'll be on Amos. It's his first. And Amos Brooks to the line. Renfrey checks out. Davidson back into the game for Ballarat. Long on the first from Amos Brooks. Doesn't shoot a lot of free throws, but 66% on the season. Can't hit the second either. Good run from Spencer, wasn't spotted. Amos, the mid-range shape is ugly, didn't even have his hands up. He's hit one from each of the elbows now. Mike Amos, Ballarat are going to have to start respecting that mid-range game. Brooks decides to go at Eamon. It's not a good pass, but Spencer played it well, just couldn't corral the ball. And we'll see.
Bit of contact there. That ball probably could have gone either way.
Yeah, if it wasn't going to be a foul, it's definitely off Spencer, but nonetheless, it'll be Ballarat basketball after the timeout. Sam Woosnam wanting to speak to her troops. They lead by a point, 40-39, 54.8 seconds to play in the first quarter. Davidson still the top scorer in the game with 13. Amos, that mid-range J a few moments ago, gets him up to 12 points. Very even game across the board. I mean, it's a 1 point game. That should be self-evident. But, Paul, you look at some of these stats. I mean, 40% from the field for the Miners, 39% for the Rangers.
Yeah, minor percentage benefit going towards Dandenong from 2 points, but obviously Ballarat offsetting that from behind the arcs. And
you look at the other stats as well. You know, the rebounds are pretty close. It's +4 to the Rangers, +2 on the assists. The steals are even, the turnovers are even. It's
a good representation of a 1 point ball game.
Yeah, absolutely. Both teams back out onto the hardwood. Eventually Jason Kelly will allow play to continue. Kazoglu, interesting little inbounds play there. Brooks almost tips it in. That foul will be on Brooks for flying through the pack like an 80 centre-half forward.
Crashing the boards.
But again, Ballarat over the limit. Loose ball fouls mean 2 shots up the other end.
We don't get too chances coming around, but we can still
opportunity on this occasion.
Make some noise.
So far from the man who played college ball at Western Carolina, short on the first. It's also been a pretty even game from the free throw line, except that's not in a good way. 53% for Dandenong, 50% for Ballarat. All this quality play, and neither team can consistently drop a free throw.
Yeah, I guess we saw Kazoglu's been in the line 3 times, each time making the first and failing to make the second, which seems to be setting a little bit of a trend here for people.
Davidson finds Brooks. Oh, the travel call, he's not happy. And he's got a point because he did dribble that basketball. Certainly don't think there was a lot in that. And thought he had the chance to close up a three-point play. It would have been a soft foul call in all honesty. Oh, Spencer does well. Kazoglu had set himself skied for the block.
A little disappointing there for Ballarat, that basket there by Amos being denied because of the travel, and would have put it at 41 all. Now what we have here is Dandenong at the line, potentially to push this out to a 4-point ball game if Ballarat's unable to do anything with the remaining 28 seconds.
I've heard kids go round and that. Prove me wrong.
Spencer, no problem with the first. Up to 5 points now, Spencer. 6 points, my apologies. Now 7. As Luke Sunderland wants to talk it over with the Miners. Trail by 4. 28 seconds to play. 39 to 43. So tight one here and a really evenly balanced box score. Both his teams and players across the board. It's as much as Davidson and Amos are they're on track for some really solid games here. Nobody's really grabbed this game by the scruff of the neck, either as a team or as an individual.
No, I was actually just looking here through the box score a minute ago and sort of had the same feel. There was a spot there early in the game where it looked like Davidson was hitting his stride and was potentially going to lay down another game similar to those that he had down in Tasmania. But to Dandenong's credit, they've been able to sort of hold him back and rein in his shooting a little bit. But yeah, like I said, there's nothing here really has jumped out. But I guess the good thing is for everybody here is that a game so level like this, it's going to set itself up for an exciting end of the game if it continues.
We've seen two major scorers for either team struggle. Tyler Rudolph picked up 7 boards and 3 assists. He's only got 4 points on 2 of 8 shooting. And we mentioned the foul trouble for Jesse G for Dandenong. Still yet to trouble the scorers, none for 3 from the floor. In admittedly limited minutes, he's only played less than half of the available time so far. Quicksilver Spencer against the equally quick Davidson. Finds Tosby, that's good. Gives the finger point to Jack Davidson. Thanks his point guard for the sweet dish. That's a good pass, Davidson. Eamon may have gotten a call there. It drops in anyway. And I'll tell you what, in both of our games today, the Rangers have made a real habit of scoring on the buzzer. I think that's they've scored in each of these 2 quarters, and I think there were 2, maybe 3 quarters in the women's game where Dandenong scored late. 2 points from Jacob Eamon sees the Rangers lead 42-45 at half-time of this one. That takes Eamon up to 7 points. Let's go with his 7 boards, 2 assists and a couple of blocks. Amos and Davidson leading all scorers with 13. Paul, a tight one so far.
Yeah, definitely much more of a spectacle than the game we had earlier. So that sort of everything appears to be setting itself up for a good final half of this game, and we may find ourselves coming down to a 2 or 3 possession game at the end, and that'll be much to the liking of everybody here. But like you said, nobody here seems to have sort of really grabbed the game by the scruff of the neck and made it their own, and I think that's going to be the big thing here, is if somebody in the second half can assert their dominance over the game and really dictate how it plays out.
Yeah, that's as good a synopsis of the game as you'll find from Paul Rogers. So I think we'll take a little bit of a break here and we'll be back with you for more NBL 1 action from Selkirk Stadium in Ballarat in around 10 minutes' time.
double take. Don't need to be a millionaire to roll this kind of way. Yeah, I got the recipe to do it every day. Straight to the top, and that's where we gon' stay. Yeah. Step it up again. Yeah, yeah, we do it every day. Step it up, step it up.
Take it to the next level.
Step it up again.
Mitsubishi Pajero Sport. Elevate your adventure.
I'll have a strong, smooth, creamy latte.
Be your own barista at Coles Express. With award-winning Coles Urban Coffee Culture from just $1. Express yourself at Coles Express.
Suffer from muscle or mild joint pain? Try Zia Pain Relief Cream from Zia, an anti-inflammatory cream providing temporary pain relief using natural active ingredients. Experience the Zia difference at zia.com.au.
Sixt Car and Truck Rental has arrived in Australia. With small cars, big cars, utes, vans, cars as big as trucks. Because they are trucks. Welcome to Above and Beyonding.
Welcome back to the Brick House, Selkirk Stadium in Ballarat for the second half of our men's NBL 1 South game between the Dandenong Rangers and the Ballarat Miners. For Paul Rogers, my name is Jared Crosser. We've got a much tighter game here, Paul, than what we did in the first half of our doubleheader, which was, for those who missed it, a 45-point thumping by the Rangers over the Miners. This one, 42-45, it's the Rangers leading. Much closer game, and really sort of a strange game. It felt like it's been somewhat of a defensive dour struggle just by the flow of the game, yet both teams are on course for give or take 90 points.
Yeah, definitely. It's not a boring game to watch. It's actually it's a really good game to watch.
It's a fascinating game, to be frank.
Like we said before the break, is that it's just no team or person has actually decided, you know what, we're going to take this and we're going to make it our own. So it's going to be interesting to see how both teams come out and start this second half. As you said before, when you've got a game that's running this close, it's not exactly a lot that you can do in terms of adjustments. So I guess you've got to figure out what is working the best for you and try and incorporate that a little bit more into your game plan.
Yeah, Jack Davidson early on looked like he was going to take the game by the scruff of the neck. 13 first quarter points. But he didn't score in the second. Nick Pozzoglu's had a balanced game for 11 for the Miners. Adam Thosby 11 points all in the second quarter. Mike Amos rather nondescript 13 points. He's played well, but again, outside of a dunk from a nice feed from Poch, he's just sort of accumulated rather than aggressively
acquired 13 points.
Yeah, and that feels unfair to say. He's played really well, to be quite frank. Davidson back underway for Ballarat. Zoglu, catch, shoot three. Looks long, but it drops. Good start for Ballarat. 15 seconds in the score, tied at 45. G with the ball. There's a man who Dandenong will need to get on track. Suffered from foul trouble in the first half, did the Queenslander. Corner three. Watch, no good. Rudolph climbs. Thoseby can step into the three, does so. It's long. Pizoglu, smart tap. Sorry, Rudolph, a smart tap down to Pizoglu. Davidson catch and shoot. Back-to-back threes from pretty much the same spot on the floor.
Nice deep three there, at least 1.5 meters behind the three-pointer.
And he does have that sort of range. Oh, people backed away from G there. Good floating pass over to Poch. Tried to bounce past it through. Lloyd got a hand in. Rudolph had Thoseby in the corner. Perhaps should have went to him, the superior shooter. And his favoured corner as well. Well, it's good drive. Poch couldn't hit from one corner, can't hit from the other. Well done, Amos. Again, just tough baskets. Just finds a way to accumulate points. There's the American Mike Amos. Davidson. Bang, back-to-back threes, Jack Davidson. Oh, we said it, that he threatened to take the game apart early, Paul, and a couple of threes in the first 2 minutes of this half.
And Ballarat coming out from the break and being very, very hot from behind the arc.
And Davidson finds Thoseby. That's really good vision. Thoseby knocks down the three. 4 threes to open this half. Interesting. Sam Newsom decides not to take the time out. 4 3-pointers for Ballarat to open the quarter. That's their entirety of their score this half. They suddenly lead by 7. G steps through. Poch, his third corner three of the quarter. Oh, play just kind of stopped there.
Well, I think what happened there is everybody heard the shot clock go off, but actually drew iron.
Yeah,
and I think they all hesitated a little bit, thinking that there was going to be a call for a shot clock violation, and there wasn't.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what they were thinking, though. I mean, shot quite clearly took iron before the siren went off, and it wasn't just Thoseby who committed the foul this stop. It was actually Jack Roberts with the ball who hesitated as well. And he was the first to react. Can't finish a three-point play. That is unforgivable from Ballarat. An offensive board off a free throw is bad enough, but when it's the shooter, like Luke Sunderland would be absolutely...
Could not tell you the last time I saw that in a professional level game.
Oh, like that's just poor. It's not the way to put it. Thoseby can't hit the turnaround. Pizoglu, little swipe at Amos. Can't retrieve the ball. Gee, very right-hand dominant player. Oh, well done. Good close off of the Angleson Ballarat, and Rudolph picks up the board. Davidson gets past Posh. Rudolph, Thoseby likes that spot, goes past Amos. Little floater, good over the top of Eamon. Lovely shot from Adam Thoseby. Ballarat have come out absolutely cooking in this quarter. Thoseby again finds Pizoglu. Great feed from Thoseby. Lovely finish by Pizoglu. And Luton no choice but to call a timeout. 58-51. A 3-point lead has turned into a 7-point deficit for Dandenong in the blink of an eye.
Well, after that first 3-pointer made to start the quarter, I expected a timeout to be called by Dandenong just to slow the pace, take the rhythm that Ballarat was getting out of the game.
Get some breaths.
But they thought they'd tough it out, and unfortunately, it's it didn't work for them.
A couple more baskets.
And Ballarata's continued. And like we said, coming back from the break, is that no team had asserted itself on this game. And Ballarata said, we hear you guys out there. We're going to step out here and do something to make this game work.
Well, that might be the first thing we've actually said tonight that's actually come to fruition. We have been an absolute curse on this game so far, Paul. But yeah, 3.5 minutes played and 16 points scored in 3.5 minutes by the Miners. Davidson, a couple more threes and was excited when Adam Thosby hit one of his own. Davidson's up to 19. Thosby and Kazoglu 16 apiece. It wasn't just teams we were looking for, but individuals, and those three have really just pushed the envelope here.
Well, like I said, it was a 3-point ball game in Dandenong's favour at the break, and all of a sudden Ballarat jumped out to a 7-point lead based on a 16-6 start to the third quarter, which is quite amazing considering the way the game has been played up to this point.
Yeah, well, as we said, it felt like a defensive game with points being scored, and that defensive game has gone out the window now. Having said that, Ballarat have made some nice defensive plays. That was probably not the best shot there from Spencer. A heat check when you've just checked into the game. Davidson, he wants Potch, gets the screen from Rudolph. Good hands from Potch. Shot clock at 6. Lloyd driving, can't really get anywhere. Shot clock down to 2. Thosby, he won't get it up. No, he doesn't. Good defense from the Dandenong Rangers. That's exactly what you want as a coach coming out of that timeout. The 3-point shot from Spencer, probably not. But that defensive stand is exactly what Wilson would have been looking for.
The goal just sort of seemed to happen in slow motion for Ballarat, just not able to get that clean possession to do something with the ball.
Tough shot. Good defense from Davidson. Roberts tried to knock it down, but Davidson was thinking another 3. Oh, Amos took the risk. But Rudolph can't make him pay. 7-point ball game, 58-51, Ballarat leading. Oh, good hands from Kazoglu, but it falls straight to Jacob Amon. Potch all day to line that up. Amos pushed Davidson out of court, but really heady play to tap that ball. Tyler Rudolph from Jack Davidson. Kazoglu corner 3. Oh, I think Potch thought that was down. He started to trot off back to the defensive end, but it was long. No score since the timeout. 58-51. Roberts gets baseline. Good drive, good finish. And cheap little foul on Tyler Rudolph. It's his second. So, Dandenong, as much as they've got a nice balanced scoring attack going, probably do need someone to step up and support Mike Amos, who's got 15, and maybe Jack Roberts is that man. He's up to 12. I'll make that 15 now, actually, so he and Amos both on 15 points. Thosby pulls up at the nail. No good. Oh, Kazoglu probably lucky to get away with a foul. It would have been an unlucky one and certainly not a deliberate foul, but nonetheless, I think Dan Potch can feel a little bit aggrieved there, and in the end, Ballarat has get the ball back from a turnover.
Great positions there by Kazoglu on what he could have just relinquished as a Dandenong ball and run down and bring up the court, but yeah, it just shows that not giving up on the play has its benefits.
And it's not his way either. He makes a lot of spectacular plays, Kazoglu, and it's because he does face the occasional lost cause and turns it into something. Davidson steps through, looks for the contact, still finishes the play. And, talent recognises talent there. James Spencer gave him a little tap on the butt. Said, good shot. Roberts. Oh, just over Jake Lloyd's fingertips. That's got to be a foul on Rudolph. It's not. It's a foul on Amos. We didn't really have the angle to see if there was a push-off there.
No,
but I can tell you, Rudolph didn't have his feet set, so maybe it was a push-off.
Probably a little unlucky there, but like you said, not having a full visibility up here. We'll have to rely on the
that's it. We are not fortunate enough to have Game of the Week, so we don't have the baseline camera and the instant replay that we sometimes become accustomed to. It's the second foul on Amos. Blue, hand off to Lloyd. Mosby again gets to the nail. Davidson finds Rudolph. Oh, nice footwork from Tyler Rudolph. Avoided the double from, I think it was Spencer. Spun around the bigger Eamon. One short from Spencer. Amos tried to really sell that. Great hands, Kazoglu. Wonderful hands, Kazoglu.
And again, Kazoglu just making something sometimes out of what appears to be nothing.
Absolutely. I honestly thought Kazoglu was just going to body up and say, all right, if you can shoot over me, great. It got the hands in. Probably unlucky to get the travel, but even if it wasn't, it did come off Amos one way or the other. But yeah, great play from Kazoglu. So 8-point game, 62-54, 3:10 to play in the third. Davidson, heavy dribble. Draws the foul out of James Spencer.
Davidson trying to convince the referee that he was in the shooting.
Yeah, that wasn't going to happen, was it? Ball didn't get above knee height, so absolutely no hope of that one happening.
But I was thinking about shooting.
I have no doubt about that. But thinking about shooting and shooting are two very different things. So 14 on the shot clock, 3:06 left in the quarter. Davidson was thinking catch and shoot, decided not to. Crosby got the bigger Eamon on him. Looks to drive past him. Good defense, good help by Amos. Unfortunate, he couldn't get the ball. Step three is a mile off from Davidson. And Amos just dances around Davidson. Easy two for Mike Amos. It was, again, very quietly had a very good game. 17 now, here's Kazoglu. Yeah, good finish.
Yeah, like you say, it does seem a little bit unfair to say a quiet 17.
No, you're right, it doesn't. We feel like we're doing him a disservice, but he's just gone about his business.
He's just getting it done.
Yeah. Well, it was a good work from Bowater. Oh! Eamon's not happy. He got him clean up top, but got him underneath. You see a few changes for Dandenong. Percy G coming back in for Spencer. Eamon will take a seat and Big R will come into the game. It's an 8-point game. Tyler Rudolph to the line to stretch it out to 10, which would be Ballarat's biggest lead of the game. 86.7% from the charity stripe on the season thus far. 6 games in, I know it's a small sample size, but can't argue with the results to this point. As he's probably going to miss one of two here just to keep our record going. I'm so sorry, Tyler. Oh, Jesse G's just straight out lost that ball. Falls to Bazoglu. Thosby catch and shoot. That's his game. Oh, in and out. Brooks flies in. A little bit of scrappiness going on in there. Big R stayed strong. Whether the foul's on Bazoglu, it is on Bazoglu. I thought it might have been on Amos Brooks. But it's a third foul on Nick Kazoglu, which is important. Ballarat's defensive linchpin.
I mean, I think it's probably surprised me more than anything tonight, Jared, sort of coming into this game. I was expecting a little bit more from G, but I
was expecting a lot, but he's
still yet to score.
He's had a shocker so far. So watch him go off for 15 in the last quarter. It's a nice little pass there from Harrison Bowater, but well read by the Miners. 8 on the shot clock, 1:38 to play in the third.
Everybody clap your hands.
Roberts pretty much triple teamed in there. Works his way through. Rudolph taps it out. Bosby can't track it down. The shot clock resets to 14 for Dandenong. G to inbound. Team down by 9. It's good rotation from Brooks. Lovely swing pass. Bowater, that quick release. Drops the corner 3. It's a rather low release. It's almost a little bit Curry-esque there, I say it, Paul. Very low, very speedy release. Oh, those wide open. Lucky roll, but he answers the 3 with one of his own. Bosby up to 19. 47 seconds remaining on the clock. 10 on the shot clock. He drives on Rudolph. Kicks it out. Has that almost sling again from Roberts. Too long this time. A mile long, in fact. Davidson just swamped inside. Amos Brooks, can he keep it alive? He does. Finds Davidson in the corner. Drops the 3. Credit to big Amos Brooks. 1 on 3, kept it alive, and a really nice bounce pass along the baseline.
Yeah, unfortunately for Amos Brooks, that one from the assist walk on the scorecard later tonight isn't actually going to do justice how sweet his effort actually was.
That was really good. Oh, gee, he carried that ball then. It wasn't called. No good with the 3 from Roberts. Bosby has to shoot. Did he get that off in time? Well, it's academic, but it almost wasn't. I don't know whether we've got the instant replay on the score bench here, Paul. It would have been an official score. But Ballarat, an electric quarter of basketball from the Miners. They lead 71 to 59. 29-14 in that quarter for Ballarat. We talked earlier about Ballarat's big comeback in the last quarter against Launceston on the previous Saturday night. He's got a similar quarter to that. Again, 29 to 14. What turned a close game that Dandenong probably felt like they had just a modicum of control of, and all of a sudden, 12-point game, double-figure lead for Ballarat with a quarter to play.
Yeah, that explosive start to that third quarter was, like I said, what we spoke about, a team coming in and actually taking control, and that really set the wheels in motion for Ballarat to have a 29 to 14 point third quarter, which sees them with a 12-point lead coming into the final quarter, which you would think in most instances, if the game plays out in a similar way, that should be enough to get them across the line. But on the other hand, if one team can come out and go 29 to 14, the other team is definitely capable of it.
In a three-point shooting era, 12 points is not a big lead, and this is a Dandenong side that does love to let the 3-ball fly, can score in bunches. And Ballarat are 4th in the league in points, averaging 94 a game, but not too far behind them, averaging 87 is the Rangers. I mean, for them to get to 87 today, they need to get a 30-point final term. But this is a side that can score in bunches, and they're still waiting for a contribution from Jesse G, who is scoreless in this game.
Probably that's probably the most unbelievable line on the stat sheet here of everything that we've looked at. 16 points a game, and a leading scorer on the team in what is a fairly balanced attack for Dandenong. But yeah, they've gotten a literal 0 from him today, the number 7.
Raise your voices up high, ladies.
So we're about to get underway in the last. Amos inbounds to G. Ballarat. Oh, they get up the 3 to Bowater straight away. It's too good a shooter to leave him open in a corner. Especially with a release that's that quick. It's a good start for Dandenong. They can get the stop. Rudolph Brooks can't keep it alive. Yeah, good start for Dandenong. 3 at one end, a stop at the other. Amos drives straight at Rudolph. Correct call. Third foul on Tyler Rudolph. Amos will go to the line. Only a 62% free throw shooter on the season like Amos, but 3 or 4 so far. The lead is 9. Chance to cut into that further for the Rangers as they launch their comeback attempt in this game.
That quick open 3 by Dandenong to start that quarter. Definitely not what Ballarat would have been wanting to try and hold on to that double-digit lead.
Generally, the start of a quarter, you want to try and get it through hands, run a set, but whether it was a set play from Wisdom to get a quick hitter or just a good improvisation from her players, it did catch Ballarat napping a little bit. Open corner 3 from literally a one-pass offence. Yeah, I know Coach Luke Sunderland would be a little bit disappointed with that.
And the 5-0 run to start this fourth quarter sees the lead back to 7.
And Ballarat do need a basket on this possession just to restore a little bit of order for the team in blue. Davidson, up fake, sidestep 3 is down. Big bucket for Ballarat. Davidson up to 27. That's his 6th 3 from 9 attempts. Now this is the sort of shooter that has shot 48% from 3 in his final season in college. Watch against the much smaller Dunmore. Switches on to Thosby. Amos. Oh, great pass. And Big R lays it in. Really good work from Mike Amos. He's been the man for Dandenong tonight. 74-66. 8-point lead to Ballarat. Oh, one more pass. Davidson's there. Chooses not to shoot. Shot clock down to 6. Rudolph steps in. Mid-range J is good. And Tyler Rudolph needed that. He's had a rough night so far. He's up to 9 points. 4 of 13 shooting, but somehow in other parts of the game just hasn't been able to put the ball in the hole too much. G drives. Rudolph on 3 fouls, decides to let him go. Does enough though to put the shot off. And G's struggles continue. Oh, Davidson dribbles off his own foot. Picks it up. Mosby. Rudolph. Finger on him. One of the few guys Rudolph can really take for speed. Throsby, tough shot from the nail. Big shot, Adam Throsby. That's a tough, mate. And Ballarat have pushed that lead back out to the 12 that it was at three-quarter time. Watch, catch and shoot. That's a mile long. Ball falls into Davidson's lap. He looks to push the pace. Throws it up to Fazoglu. The touch pass to Thosby is no good. But nonetheless, good vision from Fazoglu. The alley-oop was behind him. He was never going to catch that and get a shot up. But if he could have got the touch pass on target, Thosby could have made a couple before he shot that.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, that initial alley-oop pass looked like there might be something exciting, but obviously Fazoglu adjusted and immediately the moment it came out of his hands, he knew it was slightly offline and apologised to Thosby accordingly.
Jesse G gets to the line, the foul on Dunmore. He still doesn't have a field goal, but you would expect that Jesse G would break his duck at the very least here. Big R checks out, Eamon checks in. So 4 of the starting 5s in for each side. Bowater for Potch, for Dandenong.
Sometimes scoring from the stripe is what scorers need to get themselves started, but for this to be his first trip to the line with 7 minutes to go in the ball game, it's very hard to comprehend.
Ballarat have really shut him out well. But look, it's something to say to all the kids I coach. If you're struggling with your shot, get to the free throw line. Give yourself some in-rhythm shots. Oh, there's a foul on Amos there.
Head clash there, Amos.
Oh, yeah,
Davidson has split his eye open.
I'm not sure about Amos. None of his teammates have come over to him. Bowater finally decides to check on the big man.
Horrible incident here.
Yeah, a proper old-fashioned head clash there. I don't know if Amos has got any claret. Jack Davidson most certainly has. He's still on the ground.
Appears to be a cut in his right eyebrow.
And look, that's something that's fixable. You know, Vaseline, Band-Aid, you can sort that out. But the bigger thing will be whether Davidson, who is still on the ground, and whether he's got a concussion or a possible concussion check at the very least. Because that will take him out of the game. Even if it's a concussion check, that's probably going to take him out of the game for the rest of this one.
Yeah, well, he is laying down too, which is sort of probably something that I see as a little more concerning than just the cut.
Yeah.
Which makes me wonder if that there is some sort of concussion protocols being administered here just to make sure that he's okay.
We've got Ballarat's physios coming out onto the floor. 7:12 to play here. Ballarat leading 78-68, but a potential key moment here. The referees do the right thing and
Ladies and gentlemen, while there's a medical
call
timeout,
a medical timeout.
I will announce our raffle winners. We have Orange A65, Orange A65.
Ballarat coach
We have
Luke Sutherland comes in to check on Davidson.
Orange A14. We also have Orange A05.
Whether he's checking on his welfare or just saying, hey, can you play? Remains to be seen.
Again, Orange A05.
Put me back in, coach. Put me back in.
Orange A65, Blue D50. If you did win, thanks for
What day is it?
Davidson
Thursday. That's good enough for me. You're playing.
Well, Davidson did just give the thumbs up there, which is a good sign. But
Again, but
the more concerning thing is the fact that he's still laying down there mid-court, which I would have hoped that if it was simply just a cut above the eye that he would have been up and off and back into the change rooms.
and we don't know if that thumbs up was, are you okay or do you have thumbs? It's a tough one from this high up in the stands here at Selkirk Stadium. But as you said, Paul, it's probably been about 3 minutes since the actual incident, and Jack Davidson's still on the floor, surrounded by 3 Ballarat medical staff, applying pressure to the eye. 27 points, 8 boards, 6 assists for Davidson. 10 of 15 from the floor, 6 of 9 beyond the arc.
Well, he was that one guy that did say, we're going to get this done, and he did take charge and has played a massive role in getting Ballarat to this commanding position in this game. So it is quite unfortunate to see him as the guy who's injured there mid-court, who may not take any further part in the game.
Yeah, you never want to see an injury, particularly a head injury, but you know, it especially hurts when it's, if not your main man, then at the very least one of your main men. They've put I can't quite see from my angle, looks like they've just put a little thing to stop the blood pouring out onto his chest, but it almost looked like putting a towel over his face then, like he died. So
Yes, well, yeah, they've got the, I think it's just a towel across him, obviously, just to try and stop any blood from his jersey. It looks like that the medic down there is actually getting out either some butterfly stick staples, one of the butterfly style band-aids there to try and hold the wound closed. But we just we're hoping to see him get up and walk off the court.
well, that'll be the big thing, you know. It's the concerning thing. I mean, look, maybe the cuts are struggling to close, but the fact that Davidson is still prone on the floor, that's the most concerning thing here.
Yeah, well, I mean, immediately after the head clash,
he instantly went down, felt through his eye.
he went down and he actually, I mean, not that it's anything not to be expected, but he did definitely look like he was a little dazed, so that sort of does make me sort of wonder whether there is something concussion or potentially concussion related that they're also assessing.
And, you know, I mean, you take a shot to the face like that, it was, for anyone who missed it, an old-fashioned head clash as Davidson tried to drive past Mike Amos. But, yeah, I mean, Amos shook it off pretty quickly. And we're a good 6 or 7 minutes in now, and Davidson is still on the floor. Looks like more.
Looks like they're now applying some strips to the cut
More
on his
butterfly
eye.
strips, yeah. It looks like they've managed to keep the blood off A, the court, and B, the rest of Davidson. It's not going to be an old 1980s footy scene. Yeah, for the soccer fans amongst us, Terry Butcher with his head bandaged up.
I think they are doing some concussion checks down on there with the lights into his eyes to check for his responsiveness.
Yeah, I would be.
So I highly doubt that we're going to see him on the game, on the court for the rest of the game.
To be honest, not only would it be a surprise, it would be frankly irresponsible of the Miners medical staff to put him back out there at this stage. You just got to leave it to trust the rest of the team to get it done. 7-12 to play, a 10-point lead, 78-68.
And Davidson obviously has been the catalyst in what has seen Ballarat jump out, but I mean, you don't have to look far on their roster to find somebody else that's going to be able to hold the torch. I mean, you're only going to look for Pozoglu, Bosby, those two guys have had a pretty substantial impact tonight, as has Rudolph. So I don't think Ballarat, although you want to have your number one guy out there, I don't think that they're definitely in any sort of dire straits as a result of this.
No, and look, this is, considering that Davidson is essentially the starting two-guard when Ballarat are at full strength, but Max Cody out with a hamstring that he injured 2, maybe 3 weeks ago now, it will mean, I highly doubt that Luke Sunderland will put young Ned Renfree out there playing his first game of the season coming off his own concussion. But I would expect it would be all Pozoglu all the time running the point for Ballarat for the rest of this game.
Josh Davidson has sat up and is now returning to his feet, much to the applause of the Ballarat fans. Everybody's happy to see that he's up and about.
They're applying even more to him now as the Ballarat medical staff clean up all of their bandage wrappers and various leftovers and give the court a quick spray and disinfect. So we'll just keep an eye on the Ballarat huddle here. Luke Sunderland is drawing something up, and Davidson has gone to the back of the bench, which again, not entirely a surprise. Now these concussion tests, I've got to say, Paul, I'm not an expert on them. I've had a few concussions myself, but that was before a concussion test was actually a thing. It was just like get up and play on, which probably explains a lot to the people who know me. But they generally take about 15 minutes, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I'm not completely up to speed, but...
and apologies if I'm incorrect to anyone who knows better than me on that, but maybe we've been, we're at 10, 12 minutes now. So maybe it's a case of if he does pass that concussion test, he does come in. I've got to admit, I'm not sure how I feel about that, to be frank.
Yeah, well, I mean, in this day and age with all of the attention that's around CTE and other such flow-on effects from concussions, obviously basketball is not one of those sports where somebody is exposed to this sort of contact on a regular basis, but it always is better to err on the side of caution. But I do believe that you've got some of the best qualified medical personnel down there on the floor, and I'm sure they're going to make an appropriate decision based on the side of caution. So if we do see him out there, I have complete confidence that they've done the appropriate test and he's going to be fit to play. But I want my gut feeling, I honestly don't believe that we'll see him out there.
I tend to agree. I got to admit, if he is out there, you have to back that the medical staff have said he's right to go, and because you can bet your bottom dollar that Davidson himself will be telling everyone he's right to go, but he's probably the least reliable narrator in the entire arena at the moment.
He's the one guy we're not asking.
Exactly. You see both teams get a little bit of an impromptu warm-up in. He's just doing the right thing and letting these guys get loose after close to 15-minute delay. So 7 minutes and 12 seconds left in this one. That's a 10-point lead to the Ballarat Miners, 78-68 here at Selkirk Stadium for NBL 1 South. Again, amongst the action on the NBL 1 socials on Twitter and Insta. So well as Facebook. As it looks like we're just about to get back underway in this one. It'll be a Ballarat side ball. I think lost in all the kerfuffle about Davidson.
Well, the interesting thing is that Davidson is now wearing the 00, which makes me think that he will be back in the game.
Look, I'll back the medical staff in, but I've got to admit I'm not entirely comfortable with that. And let's see what happens. It might be a break glass in case of emergency situation. But yeah, I'll reserve my comment. I'm just not sure about it. I think that's probably the best I can say.
Well, all I know is that I'm not qualified, so I trust the people down there on the sideline.
And look, we don't really have a choice but to do that, do we?
Yeah.
You know, as Dr. Rogers and Dr. Prosser up here, as we get a little bit of a conversation between the score bench and the officialdom, and I think we are good to go. We are back underway at Selkirk. 7-12 to play. 10-point lead to Ballarat. And it's Dunmore who's checked in for Jack Davidson for Ballarat. No changes for Nunawading. Rudolph finds the aforementioned Dunmore. Drives in hard. Good finish. Dunmore makes an instant impact. Lovely acrobatic finish on the drive. G steps back. That's off. Jake Lloyd does well to deflect that ball down to Rudolph, who takes on point centre duties. Lloyd, that languid style of his. Good pass. Rudolph's got the advantage over Robertson there. Lays it in. Really good response from the Miners. 4 quick points. Pushes it out to 14 points. 82 to 68. Roberts, strong drive. Strong drive, Jack Roberts. He's up to 17 points. Cuts the lead to 12. Kazoglu has good help from, I believe that was Roberts. Ends up coming off Kazoglu's knee, then his hand, and into the front row. Dandenong going to need a few more of those forced turnovers. Let's get back into this one.
Everybody clap your hands.
By Water. Roberts, he's got a long body of Lloyd in front of him. Doesn't matter. Great footwork to spin into the layup. Luke Sunderland wants time with his team. So no change to the margin. Ballarat came out from that long break well, but a couple of quick baskets to Dandenong bring it back to 10 points, 82 to 72.
Yeah, Roberts did a great job there. A couple of quick baskets and having a little bit of influence there, and not absorbing that contact there, and then being able to still get into the basket to lay it in. So they're definitely still 10 points. 10 points the difference with a little under 6 minutes to go. So Dandenong definitely still in the game.
Yeah, 10 points, 5:54 to play, tick under 6 minutes. It is something that can be brought back. Roberts, you wouldn't really know it tonight, given he's shot 1 from 5 from deep, but coming into the game, he was at 46% from 3 for the season. Lawson Eels might come on as a bit of a stretch 4, a smaller stretch 4. He's a really good 3-point shooter as well. Dan Potts shooting 50% from 3 on the season. And he's not one who's really gotten off either. 2 for 10 from 3. And Jack Davidson is back into the game. Dunmore's still out there. It's Lloyd who's checked out for Davidson. I'd say he's wearing a 00, but you can kind of tell where he is anyway, thanks to the mummy wrapping around the top of his head. Bad turnover from Ballarat there on Kazoglu. Oh, Amos gets up and throws it down. Well, we've talked about how he's sort of gone about his business quietly, but he has had the only 2 dunks of the game.
And I think it'd be unfair to say now that he's done it quietly, because I think he's done it a little too often to be inconspicuous.
Yeah. Sosby drives, finish as well.
So much needed 2 points from Ballarat just to level a little mini run there from Dandenong.
Gee, tried to sell contact from Dunmore there. Referee wasn't buying what he was selling. Roberts again. Starting to get off a bit. Jack Roberts. Up to 21 points. He and Amos shield the lead for Dandenong. Amos! Whoa! Swats Dunmore shot off the board. Oh, a little slip there from G. That's unfortunate for him. Roberts. Oh, warning now, G. Yeah, why not? Get it to Amos. He's hot. Roberts gets past Bazoglu. Bowater, that quick release. It's no good. Jake Eamon can't track it down. Yeah, no, Eamon has stopped with his nondescript stuff, hasn't he? Tip Duncan, a wonderful, just a volleyball spike off the backboard of Zach Dunmore, who's checked out. Jake Lloyd back in for Ballarat. Still an 8-point game, 4.5 to play. Here's Thosby. Davidson, realistically, I think it's the first touch of the ball since he's come back in. He finds Thosby all day to line that up. No problem for Adam Thosby.
What's been really one of the highlights of Thosby's game tonight is that when he's been out behind the arc and he's had that open shot, he has made them pay.
We talked about the 6 threes. Oh, great finish. He's finally connected on his first field goal. And we talked about the 6 threes that Davidson has. That's Thosby's 6-3 as well. Oh, Davidson, great move. Can't finish. So Rudolph with the tip in. And that's 11 points the difference. 3:43 to play. 89-78 the score. There's Roberts. Pulls back, shoots over Bazoglu. Good shot. It wasn't a bad close from Bazoglu, to be frank. It's just a really nice mid-range connection from Roberts. Now Rudolph. Davidson. Rudolph pulls up over Eamon. Good close, doesn't matter. Rudolph answers.
Rudolph with a few nice mid-range J's tonight.
Yeah, look, he's a really nice shooter off the dribble, to be honest, Rudolph. Bazoglu finds Thosby. It's going to be an easy 2. Thosby decides to get up for the dunk. The lesser seen Adam Thosby jam.
Much feel like he sighted a rare bird. Much to the enjoyment of the Ballarat crowd here for what is only the third dunk of tonight's game. And one from one of the Reese.
Not the man you would expect.
No, not at all.
80-93. Dandenong all of a sudden find themselves trailing by 13 with under 3 minutes to play. Thosby now up to 28 points, game-leading scorer.
Yes, definitely has had a very good game. And I mean, you can sort of look across the entire Ballarat lineup. I mean, you've got Davidson with 27, Thosby 28, Rudolph with 15, Bazoglu with 18. It is a really good, steady team effort there.
And Rudolph is at 15 and 12 now after really struggling for close enough to 3 quarters. He's stepped up well in the last, the American, out of Reno State.
And for Dandenong, Roberts also just still refusing to let this thing go, who has had a very, very impressive fourth quarter here.
Yeah, look, he has been good. He's up to 23 and Amos at 21. He's gone along with 7 boards and a block and a steal. Spencer drives, finds Bowater, that low release. Wow, that's a tough shot. Jake Lloyd had a hand in his face then, didn't matter. Cuts the lead back to 10. Davidson, Thosby, why not? Well, maybe that's why. That was a brick. Roberts, good drive. It's past Lloyd, gets into the key. Little cheap hand in there. I think that was Thosby, it was. But it's only the 3rd team foul for Ballarat, only 1 for Dandenong. Nobody in foul trouble. Neither team near the bonus just yet. 10-point game, 2:15 to play.
And it does appear that knock-to head hasn't had any significant impact on Davidson. If anything, he's probably a little more aerodynamic than he was before.
Lloyd got the block, but it's been called as hands. So it'll be Roberts again, 23 points in the night. He'll go to the line to bring this into single digits, this Ballarat lead. So this has been a really good game of basketball, Paul.
Yeah, from what we sort of thought was a again, probably not the right adjective, but a non-eventful close game.
Explosive game in the first half, but it was a fascinating one.
It actually has turned into quite a good game down the stretch here, and we're set up for a pretty exciting final 2 minutes.
Roberts misses. There is the cheeseburgers for the crowd here. Thanks to McDonald's Wendouree. Thoseby, I was about to say that Jack Roberts just about picked him then.
Yeah, I think it was the right call. I think there was that bit of body contact that did definitely influence Thoseby's control of the ball.
Well, the call wasn't there. He was off to the races. Davidson. So he's thinking about that three. He wouldn't mind taking it. Rudolph. Fade away over Amos. Can't get the roll. Eamon, good rebounds. Bowater wanted the little pushing foul against Pozzoglu there, but he perhaps tried to oversell it. Amos on Pozzoglu. Definite foul on Pozzoglu there. That's one of those, we've got a foul to give. I'm not going to give you the layup. But now, any foul here for Ballarat will send... Oh, that was the 5th foul, not the 4th. My apologies. I thought for all the world, Ballarat still had one to give.
Ladies and gentlemen, make it loud.
Amos to the line. Drops the first 9-point ball game here in Ballarat. Rattles home the second. Bit of extended pressure here. Just go over the top of that to Thoseby. Ballarat break it easily enough. Pozzoglu, he'll hold the ball. Knows the clock is on his side. Amos right up in Thoseby's grill. Rudolph rolls hard to the hoop. And Pozzoglu. Oh my! Almost a massive tomahawk jam. What that quick release at short this time. Lloyd with the rebounds. Finds Davidson. My goodness, we almost had dunk of the year.
From the moment that he took that ball and made that curl around the elbow, you're like, put your seatbelt on.
Come up, you just thought, oh, this could be huge.
Unfortunately, not able to finish it.
It's the almost dunk of the season. Thoseby finishes with the right. Back to 10 points, 43 seconds to play. You would think that Ballarat are safe, but the basket here, it's a 3. It's good. Dandenong still in with a sniff.
Again, Roberts refusing to let this die.
He's fighting against the dying of the light, isn't he?
Doing an absolutely exceptional job out there, trying to will his team to regain the lead. But unfortunately,
for Roberts,
I think with only 37.5 seconds left, I think the clock is going to beat them to the finish line.
It would take some sort of effort here for Dandenong to get back into this and win it or force OT.
Just a reminder,
but I'll tell you what, if they do, we've got a hell of a 37.5 seconds on our hands. So Ballarat with the reanimated Jack Davidson after he just about died on the floor. Looking to close this one out and go to 5-2. Dandenong do not want to drop to 2-5. They're a better side than 2-5. We mentioned that at the outset. Their 2-4 record isn't reflective of the talent in this team.
They're definitely seeing the effort they've put in tonight against Ballarat. It definitely shows the calibre of the team that they are. And when you look at their lineup and their roster, they definitely have some very impressive players out there. And sometimes it's those losses that you catch the wrong side of the 50-50s on that don't reflect that well on your record.
Ballarat break the press well. Thoseby wanting to draw the cheapie. Pozzoglu now in the corner. Ballarat get that shot clock down to 10. Rudolph lays it in. Amos can't get there in time. It's back to 9. Spencer. Bowater Quick release three in the corner, no good. Rudolph rebounds a foul. And this will probably be the last action of this one. Tyler Rudolph, very good free throw shooter. As much as we mentioned that before and put him off. Oh, no, it's only 2 fouls against Dandenong, my mistake. Davidson, there's the third foul. And that one's a 5th personal foul on Jake Spencer. So he'll take a seat. Not sure if anyone's actually checking in here for Dandenong. No, it's Jesse G eventually rising from the end of the bench. So interestingly, Amos on Davidson. Doesn't keep up with him though. Davidson could have gotten fouled a few times there. So will hold the ball and we'll see this one out to a hard-fought and frankly really, in the end, very entertaining match. 97-88. The Ballarat Miners hold on against the Dandenong Rangers by 9 points. Adam Soseby with an even 30 from the veteran, including 6 from 12 from 3. Jack Davidson, 27, 8 and 6, 6 of 9 from 3 for him. Tyler Rudolph, 17 and 13 with a couple of steals. Pazoglu, 18 and 9 with 3 steals and a couple, 2 steals and a couple of... Amazingly no blocks for Pazoglu. He's generally someone who gets a few blocks. The other end for Dandenong. And Mike Amos was really good all game. 23 and 9 for him, but it was Jack Roberts, 26